So in this video I'm going to show you how to draw our next project. I've got an example of what it might look like in this file here. It's called laptop stand. I've coloured in different colours to help you visualise the different components. Obviously it won't look like this when it's finished, it'll be actually timber. So let's start. First thing we need to do is set up the drawing environment for drawing this project. First of all, we need to remove the person that's standing there, so if we select that and delete it. Second thing, we need to go over here to the eye icon and set up the format to make sure it's in millimetres with a precision of 0. And finally, we need to go to the styles one, which is over here on the right. Click on styles, go across to the magnifying glass for browse, down to defaults, and we're going to choose this one here, which is called shaded and textures. The whole thing will turn white. We'll minimise that screen there now. So we're going to start by drawing a rectangle. The rectangle tool is here, but you could also use the R key on your keyboard. Pressing the R key will change the tool over to the rectangle tool. Go to the origin, click once, drag it out in that direction, and type in the numbers 42, 210. Repeat 42, 210, and then hit enter. And that's very small, isn't it? And that's because we're zoomed out. You hit Shift Z, we'll zoom back in again. Now we're closer, we're going to, this rectangle has no thickness. We want to give it a thickness of 19 millimetres. So we press the P for push-pull, place the cursor on the object, click once, drag, and then without doing any of those, type in the numbers 1, 9 for 19 and enter. Shift Z to zoom out. No, that's still a bit too close, so we might zoom out a bit further by using this trackpad. And we've drawn a piece of material. We go over here to the scenes icon, click on that, choose that one. Notice it actually, it's a bit easy to see what's going on here. We're going to turn that object into a component. So if we triple click on it, spacebar first to change to the selection tool, 1, 2, 3, and then control click, make that a component. We're going to call that component the side. We're going to edit this component, but first of all we're going to make a copy of it. So M is for move copy. Click on this edge here. We're going to drag along the red axis. Before we go any further, hit the Option key, so we're making a copy. I'm going to type in the number 198. Enter. We've now got two items that are the same item, or same component, but in different places. We double click on this one and we're going to edit this. We're going to add a guideline. The guideline tool is called T for tape measure. We click on that. I'm going to zoom in a bit closer to make it easy to see. Go to that point there, which is on the edge, and go back 42 millimetres. Now, this material is 42 millimetres wide, and the length is 42 millimetres. So if I was to draw a line from that corner there to the intersection of there, that would form a 45 degree on the end of that. That's important because 45 degrees is what we need if we want our two components to meet with this type of joint at a 90 degree angle. Once you've done that, we're going to add another guideline to the edge here, and I'm going to go to the end until I find the centre. And the centre, or the midpoint, is indicated by a pale blue circle. That's halfway. And then I'm going to change to the push-pull tool by pressing P. And I'm going to push that triangle down to the halfway point. Now if we zoom out, we'll have a look, is that the other one has been also edited. However, it's in the reverse direction. We need to flip it around. So we go down to here in this menu and you'll find the flip tool there. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip it in the red direction. Okay, we've now got this joint done at the bottom. Next thing to do is to add the bottom component. We're going to colour those in first. So I'm going to use the paintbrush or paint bucket. Select browse, go to colours. I think we use that red for one side and green for the other. Arrow to close that menu. Now I want to add the bottom component to this, but it's not in a way makes it easy for me to draw that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the orbit tool to go around and have a look from the bottom. That's a better position for me. I'm going to use R for rectangle. I'm going to draw a rectangle from that corner across to here. It's 240 long by 42. Enter. Now we can't push it from that direction. We can come over this side and pull it up. So we change select P for push pull, click on it, bring up, and then touch this corner here to make sure it's the same thickness as the other one. Press the space bar to change to the selection tool, triple click and make that a group. Now we'll notice that this area here is sort of grey and red. It's because two objects occupy the same space. What we've got to do is remove from this object the bits that make up the joint between these two. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a line across from that diagonal to that diagonal and remove this material on the end here. So we need to open this object in edit mode, double click, draw a line across from there to there and push that down until it doesn't exist anymore. Go to the other side, and I've used the orbit tool to do that. Draw a line from the corner to corner, push pull. And if I go over across to the glasses now and select hide rest of model, you'll see what that looks like. Now there's another component. There's this little bit in here that we need to remove. And to do that, we need to draw a line across the back here, point to point, and push that up halfway. Across the back, point there to point there. P, push up until halfway. And when we colour that one in, you'll see what it looks like. I'll try anything pale blue. No, I've got to do that in a different way. Right, okay, you'll see how the joint works there. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to draw a joint at the back here. The joint we're going to use here is called a mortise and tenon joint, and we're going to draw that using the offset tool. So position your drawing using the orbit tool so you can get a good look at the back here. We're going to double click on one of these. It could be that one or this one, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to use the orbit tool. Now the orbit tool is this tool, sorry, the offset tool is this tool here. The shortcut is F. And I'll go to the end here and I click on that and I come in for 6 millimeters. I then use the push-pull tool to push that in 20 millimeters. And you can see it's added a mortise over tenon to the end of this object. The next step is to add the component at the back. There's many different ways that we can do that, but I find the easiest one from this position is just to simply draw a rectangle from that corner down to that corner, or vice versa, this one to that one, and then extrude that out. So we're going to press R for rectangle, go to the corner, click there. Now you've got to get the right corner so it's in that one plane. P for push-pull that out 42 millimetres. Now in the original design you'll notice that the sides go out further, so we've got to pull them out the side here another 20 millimetres, and that's both sides. And finally I'm going to triple click on that and make that a group. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces making up this design. I'm going to finally finish off by colouring that one in, a purple colour. And we're going to leave it at this for this time being at this stage. I'm going to finish this video and I'm going to start another one to do the next step.